So it's another video looking at a different bike stand, a work stand. This one here is a little bit cheaper maybe than the one I showed you in the other video, the Park Tools one. This is a Jobsworth one, sold online for a company called Planet X. Pretty good quality. I think I bought this one to have at school in case I needed to do any work on a bike at school. Where do we start? Let's have a look. Once it's assembled, and I'll flat pack it afterwards, okay? Still not portable, it's a pretty hefty device. I don't think it's the 15 kilos the Park Tool one is, but it's not far off it, okay? Yeah, it's over 10 kilos, I reckon. Right, so what are we looking at? We're looking at a long vertical tubular section. So vertical compared to the one that he had at Park Tools, where we were leaning over towards the centre of that triangle we created for the base. So this time round, look at the legs, and this is what we're mostly focusing on. The legs, there's 4 legs this time, right? And legs are designed so that you can splay them, make them go out there to their maximum width, which is a whopping, I'm going to say those legs are about 60 centimetres each. So that's about 1.2 metres on the diagonal. So that's a very stable footprint there, isn't it? And you can lock that with that cam lock, so that's locked in place. You've got a few nice things, nice touches here. Keep looking for triangles, okay? Triangles are your strong shape. The base here has got this strut, which is sorry, it's not a strut actually, it's a tie. It's a tension member. So when that triangle that's formed, if you can see that one there, as you put the weight on, this leg is trying to be bent in this direction. There's a fulcrum, there's the load, it's bending it this way. So this base part of the triangle here is a tension member in the structure. So this is a tie, and that's pivoting on this base section here. And if you can see that base section there, it's oh, I tell you what that is. That's same polymer we had before. What did we say it was? Nylon, not nylon 66. It's a composite nylon basically, which is made by glass filling nylon. Makes a really tough material. Nylon 12, I think it is it? So it pivots in that. That's injection molded and fits on the base. I quite like the way that they've set up the base of that leg. So you can see the moulding. It pivots off each side of the circular base. Pretty clever. You saw me set up before. I had it set up about this sort of base. And I have worked on a bike before with it set up like that, not fully extended. Still pretty stable. Pretty good, pretty good. It's got that cam lock thing that we talked about before on the Park Tools one. That's quite handy. What else has it got? The Park Tools one hasn't got. It's got these feet which can fold flat or can extend to create a flat base. They've got holes in them so you can actually screw it to the floor in somewhere so it really didn't move, which would be quite cool. Right, let's have a look at other features. So, I've got to undo this a little bit. I'll explain what this little bit does in a minute. That can drop down. Look, minimum height you can get to is about here. So I'm going to say that's about 1.2 metres. Maximum height that you want to get to with this, see, probably not have a screw inside it. Maximum height you can get to is about, okay, 1.6 probably. It feels pretty stable at that height. I'm 1.7 something, right? So it's not quite as tall as me. So if you want to get that high, you could do. The clamping mechanism is very similar to the Park Tools one. We don't have to worry about this. We have to design the clamping mechanism, but you can see there that the top of it, look, vertical. You can extend it a short distance out if you want to get the bike further over this way, but that's going to affect the stability because your centre of mass is going to go outside of the footprint. But you can extend it that way if you want to. Let's talk about this little thing here then. So this little thing isn't on the Park Tools one, and I wish it was, I guess. The Park Tools one was expensive, but it hasn't got this bit. So this is a little device for holding the front wheel of the bike. So when you hold it in, the front wheel can sometimes spin around and get in the way. So you just basically get that rubber thing there and you clip it around the stanchion, the fork leg of your bike, and it stops it from moving, which is quite a cool little feature. Another cool little feature, I did 3D print one of these for the Park Tools stand. It's a work tray, so if you're using tools to work on your bike, you've got little holes that you can slot things into, and you've got little compartments there where you can put bits and bobs. I've got a magnetic tray like this, so if you work on little things like ball bearings, you can pop them in and they just stay on there, you don't lose anything, which is pretty cool. So what else do we talk about? Surface finish, so we know it's all mild steel, and this again has been powder coated. So we're powder coating the heater, they put a negative electrode on here, and then they fire a fine mist, which is positively charged, of paint, which is like a polymerized paint, and it hits the hot metal and it fuses to it really well. You get a really even paint coat, and even if you spray from here, it kind of gets dragged around the back of the object, which is pretty clever. So what else do we need to look at? So we're designing the base, right? So we're looking at the ways the base folds. Just undo that lock there a minute and drop that down. Let's see how small it can go. Remember, in specification, it has to be collapsible without any special tools. So look, I've got nothing on me, I'm just collapsing it by hand. And this one here will go down that size, that big, which is pretty compact, isn't it? So there you are, get the camera in place there, and that's able to go back in the cupboard for the next time I need to use it to fix something on a bike or somebody else's bike. All right, so this is Jobsworth work stand. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Okay.